The trailer is finally here, and Heartland fans everywhere can feel their hearts racing. Season 19 is no longer a dream, no longer a rumor, it is real. And with it comes a storm of emotions that promises to test every bond, every secret, and every fragile piece of the Bartlett-Fleming family. This isn't just another season. This is a turning point, and the trailer wastes no time reminding us that Heartland has always been more than a show. It's a reflection of life itself, filled with love, loss, and the courage to keep moving forward. For nearly 2 decades, Heartland has stood as a rare gem in television, one of the few stories that continues to thrive without losing its heart. Season after season, it has given fans what they long for: moments of tenderness, lessons of resilience, and a reminder that even in the darkest storms, there is always a way forward. The release of the Season 19 trailer feels like a promise that the story we have carried with us for so long is far from over. Instead, it is about to reach new depths. What strikes first about the trailer is its atmosphere. The sweeping Alberta skies are still there, vast and open, but the tone feels heavier, as if the land itself is bracing for change. Heartland has always been known for its balance between joy and hardship, but this time, the balance feels sharper, almost as if the show is preparing us for trials that will cut deeper than ever before. And this is exactly why fans are holding their breath, because Heartland doesn't dramatize for the sake of drama. It builds slowly, layer by layer, until we are caught in emotions that feel like our own lives. Season 19 is already signaling that it will be a season of transformation. Whether the characters are ready or not, Amy, as always, stands at the center of this transformation. In the trailer, her presence is quiet yet powerful, a reflection of the strength she has earned through years of heartbreak and healing. But behind that strength is still a woman carrying unspoken burdens. The look in her eyes tells us that her journey is far from finished. She is no longer just a daughter, mother, or horse trainer. She is a woman who must decide what kind of future she wants to shape for herself and for Lindy. Fans know Amy's path has never been easy, but the trailer hints that this chapter may be her most defining yet. And then there is Jack, the anchor, the voice of wisdom, the soul of the ranch. His words in the trailer cut deeper than any storm. Sometimes family isn't enough to hold everything together. For a man who has always been the steady foundation, this line feels like a warning. Is Jack admitting that even his strength has limits? Could Season 19 push him to a place where he can no longer carry everyone's burdens? For fans who have leaned on his wisdom as much as the characters have, this is unsettling, but it is also what makes the trailer so gripping. Heartland is showing us that even rocks can crack, and when they do, the ripple can be felt across the entire family. Of course, no Heartland story is complete without Tim, the most complicated figure in the family, forever caught between redemption and self-destruction. His flashes of anger, regret, and silence in the trailer remind us that his battles are far from over. Will this be the season where he finally breaks free of the shadows that haunt him, or will he fall back into patterns that threaten to tear apart everything he's worked for? Tim's struggles are often painful to watch, but they also make Heartland real. Because life is messy, redemption is never simple. And sometimes the people we love most are the ones who test us hardest. And then comes Lindy, the future of Heartland. The trailer shows her stepping forward with more independence, no longer just Amy's daughter, but a growing symbol of the next generation. Her moments of laughter and courage are small, but they are reminders that Heartland isn't just about survival. It's about legacy. As Lindy rides forward, it feels like the show is quietly telling us that the future will belong to her as much as it ever belonged to Amy or Jack. What makes this trailer so remarkable isn't just the questions it raises, it's the weight it carries. Every frame feels intentional, every glimpse a clue that Season 19 will not only continue the story, but reshape it. And fans can feel it. This isn't just another season where problems appear and are neatly solved. This is the kind of season where bonds will be tested, where choices will have consequences, and where even the strongest hearts may falter before they find their way again. The trailer reminds us that Heartland has always mirrored real life. Families argue. People make mistakes. Love can be fragile, and healing is never quick. Yet, in the midst of it all, there is resilience, an unshakable belief that no matter how hard the storm hits, there is always hope. And this is why Heartland endures. Because it doesn't just tell stories. It makes us live them, feel them, and carry them long after the screen fades to black. Season 19 isn't just about what's next for the Bartlett-Fleming family. It's about what's next for all of us who have grown with them. And as the trailer closes in on its most powerful moments, one thing becomes clear. The journey ahead will not be easy, but it will be unforgettable. The brilliance of the Heartland Season 19 trailer lies not just in what it shows, but in what it hides. It is a masterclass in suspense, offering glimpses that stir our emotions while carefully leaving the biggest answers just out of reach. This is the kind of storytelling Heartland has perfected over the years, giving us enough to feel the weight of the season, but not enough to silence the questions burning in our hearts. And it is those questions that fans will carry with them until the very first episode airs. One of the clearest threads woven into the trailer is the idea of storms, both literal and emotional. The storm rolling across the Alberta skies mirrors the turmoil inside the Bartlett-Fleming family. It isn't just nature reminding us that change is coming. It's a symbol of how fragile even the strongest foundations can be. Jack, the man who has always stood tall, is shown gripping the reins with a force that feels almost desperate. For years, his strength has kept the family steady, but the trailer suggests that this time, he may not be able to hold everything together. What happens to the rest of the family if the anchor himself begins to drift? That question alone could carry an entire season of tension. Amy's journey is no less heavy. Her solitude in the stables, her quiet strength, and her whispered words in the trailer tell us that she is still navigating the delicate line between healing and moving forward. Heartland fans know Amy well enough to recognize that silence often speaks louder than any dialogue. She doesn't need to declare her struggles. Her eyes, her body language, and her connection to the horses reveal it all. This season, it feels like Amy may be pushed into making choices that redefine who she is, not just as a mother or horse whisperer, but as a woman standing at the crossroads of her life. Could Season 19 be the moment where Amy finally steps into a new chapter, one that forces her to let go of the past while embracing a future she cannot yet see? The trailer doesn't answer, but it leaves us holding our breath. Then there is Tim, a man who has always walked the line between hope and heartbreak. The trailer shows his voice rising, his temper breaking through, but just as quickly it shows his regret, his silence, and his distance. Fans who know Tim's history understand that every moment of anger hides a deeper wound. Every sharp word is a shield against the pain he has never fully faced. But in Season 19, the question looms larger than ever. Will Tim finally confront the shadows of his past, or will he drive away the people who love him most? The trailer's brief flashes, an unanswered call, an argument with Jessica, and that haunting image of him walking away into the dusk suggests that Tim's story will once again stand on the edge of redemption or ruin. And that uncertainty is what makes his arc so captivating. Yet, even amidst the heaviness, the trailer offers sparks of hope. Lindy, stepping into her independence, becomes more than a child growing up. She becomes a symbol of what Heartland has always been about: legacy. Her laughter as she rides without Amy's hand guiding her is more than just a milestone in her childhood. It is a message to the audience that the torch is being passed, that the future of Heartland rests not only on the shoulders of its older generation, but also on the innocence, courage, and spirit of the young. Lindy's presence reminds us that even when storms shake the family, the seeds of hope remain planted firmly in the soil of the ranch. But the trailer doesn't stop with familiar faces. It introduces new ones, strangers whose roles are left shrouded in mystery. We see contracts signed, whispered conversations in the shadows, and unfamiliar figures stepping onto the ranch's land. Their purpose remains unclear. Are they allies who will help the Bartlett-Fleming family weather the storms ahead? Or are they threats, bringing challenges that could unravel the bonds of loyalty and love? Heartland has always been careful with outsiders. Sometimes they bring healing, and sometimes they bring chaos. The trailer leaves just enough space for speculation, ensuring that fans are left with more questions than answers. And this is what makes the trailer so powerful. It doesn't give away the story. It invites us into it. It allows us to wonder, to theorize, and to prepare ourselves for the emotional roller coaster ahead. It leaves us with images burned into our minds. Amy's tear-filled eyes, Jack's heavy words, Tim's silent regret, Lindy's radiant laughter. These are not just scenes. They are promises. Promises that Season 19 will be filled with both heartbreak and healing, both endings and new beginnings. What Heartland does better than most shows is create tension that feels personal. The conflicts aren't exaggerated or unbelievable. They are the same struggles many families face: the fear of losing someone you love, The weight of responsibility, the pull between past mistakes and the hope for change, the courage to let the next generation find its way. And this is why fans hold on so tightly, because when we watch Heartland, we don't just see characters on a screen, we see reflections of ourselves, our families, and our own battles. Season 19, as teased in the trailer, seems to carry this tradition forward with even more intensity. It is not just setting the stage for another set of stories, it is preparing us for a season where the stakes feel higher, the emotions feel sharper, and the bonds we thought unbreakable may be pushed to their limits. And yet, as the trailer reminds us with Amy's whispered words, we'll find a way. We always do. The essence of Heartland has not changed. No matter how heavy the storm, no matter how dark the night, there is always a thread of hope tying everything together. The most striking element of the Heartland Season 19 trailer is how it toys with the idea of return. Return of memories, return of fears, and perhaps even the return of faces we thought we'd never see again. For longtime fans, every second of the trailer feels like a puzzle piece. Each frame offers a clue, yet none of them fit neatly together. And that is deliberate. The creators know that Heartland is not just a show, it is a world that millions have lived in for nearly 2 decades. The return of the familiar is comforting, but the possibility of the unexpected is what makes our hearts race. The whispers surrounding Ty Borden's presence continue to dominate every conversation among fans. His shadow lingers heavily over the trailer, not through direct confirmation, but through silence, hesitation, and those carefully chosen shots that feel almost too intentional. A lone horse galloping in the distance, Amy's sudden pause in mid-sentence, Jack's quiet, broken expression, all of it feels like more than coincidence. Could Ty be making a return in some form in Season 19? The trailer does not say it outright, but it certainly does not shut the door. And that open door, even if only slightly cracked, is enough to stir the hearts of fans who still hope. But the brilliance here is that the trailer doesn't lean on nostalgia alone. It doesn't simply dangle the possibility of Ty's return, it also raises the question of what it would mean for the family if he did. For Amy, it would not just be the joy of reunion, but also the reopening of old wounds. For Jack, it would be the reminder of promises kept and battles fought. For Lindy, it would mean finally knowing the father she has only heard about. And for Tim, it could mean confronting the mistakes he made when Ty was alive. Heartland has never been about easy answers. And if Ty's presence does return in any form, real or symbolic, it will bring as much pain as it does healing. Beyond Ty, the trailer hints at fractures within the family that no one expected. There is a scene, brief, fleeting, where Lou and Amy stand apart, their conversation tense, their eyes avoiding each other. Sisters who have always leaned on one another seem suddenly distant. Is it politics pulling Lou away? Is it Amy's choices that create the divide? Or is it something deeper? Something tied to the past that neither has been able to let go? Heartland has always portrayed the Bartlett-Fleming family as resilient, but Season 19 seems ready to test that resilience like never before. And what of Georgie? The trailer's silence on her character is deafening. Her absence feels like a presence in itself. Fans are left to wonder if her storyline will return with the force of a storm, or if her chapter has quietly closed. In the world of Heartland, absence is rarely accidental. When a character disappears from sight, it is often because their reappearance is being carefully crafted. Could Season 19 be holding Georgie's story in reserve, waiting for the perfect moment to shake the family's foundation once again? The ranch itself becomes a character in this trailer. Wide shots of the land show fences broken, storms brewing, and horses unsettled. Heartland has always used the land as a mirror for the family's struggles, and Season 19 appears no different. A storm tearing through the ranch is more than weather. It is a metaphor for the chaos threatening to tear through the lives of everyone who calls Heartland home. And just as the land must be rebuilt after destruction, so too must the family find a way to rebuild after the emotional earthquakes shaking their world. The trailer also suggests that new conflicts are coming not just from within, but from the outside. Contracts, strangers, and whispered deals hint at threats to the ranch's very survival. Is someone trying to take Heartland away from the Bartlett-Fleming family? The idea is not far-fetched. We have seen this ranch threatened before, by greed, by outsiders, by circumstances beyond anyone's control. But the way the trailer frames these new figures, standing in shadows, speaking in hushed tones, suggests that this time the danger may be more personal. Perhaps it is not just about land or money. Perhaps it is about the family itself, about testing their unity in ways they could never anticipate. And yet, in the middle of all this uncertainty, the trailer refuses to abandon hope. Lindy's growing presence is the quiet heartbeat of the story. Where older generations see storms, she sees possibilities. Where Amy feels the burden of the past, Lindy feels the freedom of the future. Her youthful laughter, her courage, and her curiosity remind us that no matter how heavy the darkness, light always finds a way through. Lindy does not erase the pain of the past, but she becomes the reason to keep moving forward, the symbol of why the family must hold on even when everything feels like it is slipping away. This delicate balance between hope and despair, between past and future, is what makes season 19 feel so vital. The trailer does not promise us easy answers. It does not give away the ending. Instead, it offers a reflection of real life, where storms and sunshine coexist, where families fracture and heal, where love and loss walk side by side. It reminds us why Heartland has lasted as long as it has, not because it avoids pain, but because it teaches us that pain and hope can live together, and that one often makes the other stronger. Season 19 is shaping up not just as another chapter in the story of Heartland, but as a turning point, a season where everything we thought we knew could be tested, where every character faces choices that will shape not only their lives, but the legacy of Heartland itself. And the trailer, in its quiet brilliance, makes sure we understand that when the first episode airs, we will not just be watching a show. We will be stepping back into a world that feels like home. And like home, it will comfort us, challenge us, and change us. As the Heartland Season 19 trailer lingers in our minds, one question becomes impossible to ignore. How much change can a family endure before it begins to break? This season doesn't just hint at emotional challenges. It foreshadows transformations that could permanently alter the dynamics we have held close for years. Heartland has always been about resilience, but resilience does not come without struggle. And the trailer makes it clear that this season will be about confronting those struggles head-on. At the center of it all is Amy. She has always been the heart of Heartland, the quiet force that keeps everything alive, even when the world around her seems determined to fall apart. But in Season 19, Amy's role feels heavier, more complex. The trailer shows her caught between the ghosts of the past and the demands of the present. The horses that once offered her healing now seem to mirror her restlessness, their unease reflecting her own. There is a haunting image of her standing by Spartan's stall, her eyes distant, her hand trembling just slightly as she reaches out. It is not weakness, it is the weight of carrying too much. For Amy, Season 19 feels like the point where she must decide. Will she continue to let the past define her? Or will she finally step into a future where her identity is not tethered to loss, but built on renewal? Then there is Jack. His presence in the trailer is quiet, but unshakable, as though he carries the burden of knowing more than he is willing to say. Jack has always been the soul of wisdom, but the look in his eyes this time suggests a man who is running out of answers. For years, his strength has been the foundation of the Bartlett-Fleming family, but now the cracks are beginning to show. The storm on the horizon isn't just outside, it is inside him. When a man like Jack falters, the entire family feels it. And yet, perhaps it is his vulnerability that will allow the next generation to rise. Perhaps his silence, his pain, and his struggle are not signs of failure, but of passing the torch. The trailer makes it clear, Jack's story this season will not just be about holding the family together, but about teaching them how to carry on when he no longer can. Tim's arc, too, seems destined for turbulence. He has always walked the line between redemption and ruin, and in Season 19, that line appears thinner than ever. The trailer captures moments of anger, regret, and quiet despair that suggest Tim is battling demons he has never spoken aloud. A slammed door, a whispered apology, a long, lonely ride into the darkening fields. Each glimpse tells us that his journey is not just about being a father or a grandfather, but about confronting the man he sees in the mirror. Will Tim finally reconcile with his past, or will he push everyone away in his desperate attempt to protect himself from the pain of loss? That is the question haunting his every frame in the trailer. But Heartland is not only about individual battles. It is about the family as a whole. And the trailer teases divisions that could shake their unity. Lou, ever the leader, is shown making choices that do not sit well with everyone else. A contract signed behind closed doors. A meeting that Amy walks away from in silence. The tension between the sisters suggests that this season will test their bond in ways we have never seen. For fans who have always drawn strength from their closeness, this is a painful thread to watch unravel. Yet, it is also deeply human. Because sometimes love does not prevent conflict, it creates it. The silence around Georgie once again grows louder in this section of the trailer. Her absence feels intentional, a gap that begs to be filled. Fans are left wondering if she will make a dramatic return, reshaping the season's trajectory, or if her story will remain suspended, unresolved. The choice to keep her fate hidden only adds to the suspense, reminding us that in Heartland, nothing is ever truly forgotten. And then there is Lindy, the light flickering against the darkness. Her growth is no longer just a subplot. It is central to the future of the show. The trailer shows her confidence blooming, her laughter echoing in moments where silence once reigned. But even her journey is not without challenge. Growing up in the shadow of so much loss, Lindy must find her own way, her own voice, and her own strength. Her presence reminds us that while the older generation wrestles with their ghosts, the younger generation is already writing the next chapter. What makes the trailer unforgettable is its refusal to give us certainty. It does not tell us who will win their battles, who will find peace, or who may lose everything. Instead, it gives us fragments, just enough to ignite endless speculation. Fans will spend the weeks leading up to the premiere debating Ty's possible return, Jack's quiet sorrow, Amy's decisions, Lou's choices, Tim's regrets, and Lindy's future. Each theory carries hope, fear, and passion, because Heartland has never been about passive viewing. It is about investing our hearts in the lives of these characters as though they were our own family. Season 19 feels less like another chapter and more like a reckoning with the past, with secrets left unspoken, with decisions that can no longer be delayed. The trailer suggests that every character will be forced to face their truth, whether they are ready or not. And in that reckoning lies the true magic of Heartland. Because when families are tested, when storms rage, when silence breaks, what remains is love. Fragile, imperfect, sometimes strained, but always present. And that is what Season 19 promises to deliver. Not just a story, but a reminder that even when everything feels uncertain, love is the constant that holds us together.